Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction. It is to Shokugeki no Souma. It is the third plate. So, Season 3, Episode 10. And finally, we have a face-off. We have a Shokugeki Ryukun versus Rentaro, and I really look forward to it. As always, as you know, if you want to see the reaction, just go down in the links. And in my comments, you will find a link to my Google Drive. Remove the circumflex dot parts and replace them with dots, and you will have the reaction to watch. I hope you enjoy. Once you've done, please come back to hear me out about my thoughts, my ideas about this episode, what I think about it, what I guess will happen next time. So, see you soon. For those of you who have come back, welcome back. Well, no, that was funny and entertaining, right? And a good thing to see that Ryukun pulled it off and won it. There were some pretty clear words in this episode, which I liked a lot. One of them is this here. Hit me with everything you got, you poser loser, a poser elite. And the other one, which really stood out, I like this sentence. It's a really cool sentence. You can never achieve such a world of flavor just by slapping bacon onto salmon. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And it shows exactly what this episode, when it comes to cooking, in my opinion, is about. So we have two very different styles of cooking here. We have Rentaro, who goes for low temperature cooking, preserving the natural flavors, not destroying what the ingredients have by themselves, which is a clever idea, which is a good one, which we've seen in the past already. Keep as much as possible from the original flavor, from the original taste, so it is more natural, it feels fresh, which likely makes it a more light meal compared to what Ryukun is doing, because Ryukun in the past and in the present again, he's not going for the light ones, he is going for the broadsword to hit you, he's going for the huge axe. He takes the flavors and he combines them and he enhances them, and not only by a bit, he really creates fire, creates more of flavor than there was before, a lot of more, and that is what the difference here is, which won him this one. I asked myself if it would have been like a meal for multiple dishes. In this case, this might not have been clever here, because we've had this in the past, that some meals were being stood out because they are not only about good tasting, but about being light, not too heavy on your stomach. Thinking about the ones that are eating, like this is the fourth, fifth, or sixth meal they are testing, so go for something that is not overwhelming, because they have to be relaxed for something more smooth. In this case, maybe Rentaro would have won, maybe. But this was a one-dish meal, and it was about punching the teeth in through the mouth into your stomach with a taste. And this is where he always excelled. So I can see why he has won here, and it is no question that it was correct that he did. It's nice to see that he developed from the autumn election a lot. He was awesome there already, but he developed even more. So he learned more about spices. The use of the spinach in the breadcrumb was fantastic. That's a so clever idea. I would really like to taste that. So that's more and more in there. When it came to Rentaro, in a lot of cases, it felt to me as though he was stealing from Nakiri, because he even mentioned it. So Elise, in the past, used the stove, used the cooling machine and everything. She's the one that was always on top using modern technology, which I am not so much a fan of. But I can see that if you're doing like very creative things like foaming food, like doing, I don't know, like a 3D print versions of food, which is not only about tasting but additionally about looking incredibly like out of this world. This is where modern technology comes in, and I can agree there. But when it comes to normal food, normal, whatever that means here, I'm always mixed, about technology. Sure, you need an oven or a stove to do something. But if something is more handmade, there is always more of a feeling of richness in it to me. Maybe just because cooking is not only about that what is in the end, but about the process as well. If the cook does more with the food, is more involved and not just putting it in somewhere and waiting 5 minutes until it goes bing, then there's more love in it. At least I think so. Especially if you're like, he can adapt to things that happen while cooking. If he sees it's working like I wanted in the pan as example, but there's just a little hint of salt missing as example. He could do it in the right moment. While when you put it into such a machine and you just set the machine to do everything right, it more and more takes away the idea of the cook. That because in the end, then you do not need any cooks anymore. If there's like the perfect food out of a machine, why should we need cooks? We program it and it will make perfect food for everyone. But I don't believe that. I see that it can make good food if a good cook programmed it. But it, in my opinion, can never be as good as handmade. So I think this is the one thing that was missing here on the side of Rentaro, additional to the too light compared to the broadsword of Ryokun. The other thing is that he did not think that Ryokun would develop. Was his mistake. So Central is kind of stuck. They are like, we have achieved a status of excellency. We are perfect right now, and we will make everyone be as perfect as we are. Which just makes a little bit of sense if you are very high, but there is no such thing as perfect. There will always be someone who is better. There will always be one. It is this typical, we say here, whatever you do, there's always an Asian kid being better in it than you do it. So, it's just like that. What I mean is, even the number one spot on the Elite 10, even the best cook in the world, he may be the best at the moment, but there will be someone being better than him. In a year, in 10, in 100, it doesn't matter. If it is cooking, if it is sport, whatever you're doing, someone will be better. Maybe just a hint, but it will be. So if you're saying we don't want anyone to develop on their own, we only want everyone to have the way of learning we want to reach our exact level, then you try to stop the world evolving. Because that it is what Asani right now is trying. He is pushing away everything that is not what he likes and is not up to his standards. But some of those cooks who were beaten before by Central, not saying they would have been maybe the better on later on, but some of them may have taught students one skill or two that makes them chose a way of developing which improves their ability above the ability of Central. So that's what I think. So there was it was about salmon, it was about bacon, ice cream of salmon. We have more ideas of that, as I said, by Alice in the past, Alice Nakiri. So not saying he stole it from her, so there are many people who have like the same ideas, but it was very much, he was like her version, but not evolving above a specific point. And I think that it was his main weakness, that he was not able to watch further, to look further. And then there is Arena. So Arena seems to be thinking about Souma. I'm not sure whether it is into a shipping idea, in the idea of that she's thinking about him, he might be nice or anything, but she's mainly thinking about the fact that so many people believe in him to be like the rescue for the school. And I think it's starting to work on her, that she's starting to realize that. Over the whole season, compared to the first two, she has become softer. She has become more accessible. In my opinion, that's positive. I mean, that's what it is about. She was so harsh and drawn back before, as we learned due to the way that her father treated her and teached her. And if she's softening, if she's opening up to people more and more, I think that is something that should be embraced, and we will see what comes out, what is happening. Right now, she's, as it seems, going to another Shokugeki, and we will see what's happening there as well. So, at least she's watching the one unfolding right now. There were two new persons I've seen in, so a blonde, red-haired, a little bit more chubby cook, female, which was not named, which was just standing in one of the one Shokugekis. I think she's from Central. Then there was this guy with a huge sword on his back. Wherever you carry that in a school. But I mean, it's more about what kind of type he is, I guess. Like, so he seems to be a little bit more about the Bushi type, wherever they want to put one in there. And he had beat multiple cooks, it seems. So I guess there are more than just those 4 we've met so far. So there are more central cooks coming in. And I think we will, at least some of them we will see being beat, hopefully, in the future. So, next episode. I'm pretty sure that Arena will come around. Something happening there. I still wait for Asani to make his next move. Although this is one, but I guess he will not stand by once that had happened. Except from that, maybe, just maybe, someone in the future, Souma, will start to go to face the Elite 10. Or at least change their mind about Asani, because they seem to be able right now to at least partially stop what Asani has done with Central. But right now it is a drop in an ocean. They have won 2 Shokugeki out of dozens. They may have saved the dormitory, the North Star. And in this case, Ryukun made a statement that it can be done. But we've seen so many other chefs, cooking chefs lose against Central, that very likely like 95% of all will lose in the future as well. So still Asani would have success in this case. So they need to do more. They need another plan. They need something to work out how to stop Asani and what he's doing. So this is it, what I hope will be next time, that maybe they sit together and finally come up with a plan. That's it for this time. I enjoyed that very much. I hope you did as well. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. And my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.